10-year-old Toby's home in Parma, Ohio, often resonated with the sound of his cheerful laughter, a sound as familiar and comforting as the happy thump of a dog's tail against furniture. Parma, a suburb noted for its welcoming atmosphere for families and its abundance of parks, offered an ideal setting for a young boy with a spirit for exploration. Toby shared his life with Buster, a golden retriever whose tail seemed to possess a perpetual motion, marking every moment with a happy beat. Buster's intuition was remarkable. He possessed an almost supernatural ability to sense when Toby needed a reassuring nudge, delivered with a cold, wet nose. Their connection was more than just owner and pet, it was a profound friendship, the kind often celebrated in stories of boys and their dogs. The choice of a golden retriever as Toby's companion aligns with their reputation as one of the most beloved and suitable breeds for families, consistently recognized for their friendly and affectionate disposition. Their bond was a constant symphony of sneezes and tail wags, a testament to Toby's minor dog hair allergy, a small inconvenience he gladly endured for Buster's constant companionship. This detail adds a layer of authenticity to their relationship, suggesting a love that transcends minor physical discomfort. Their home offered a unique blend of suburban comfort and natural allure. While the front of their street presented the familiar image of neatly kept lawns and quiet sidewalks, their backyard bordered a sprawling green space that gradually transitioned into the slightly wilder terrain of the West Creek Reservation. This proximity to nature provided an accessible gateway to adventure for Toby and Buster. The West Creek Reservation, lauded for its extensive open areas and densely wooded ravines, served as an enticing backdrop for their daily explorations. Local stories whispered of a hidden grove nestled deep within the reservation, a place where the creek murmured secrets to the ancient trees, and where, with a keen ear, one might discern the faint calls of elusive wild creatures. This urban wilderness, a blend of suburban adjacency and natural preservation, held a particular enchantment for Toby, a fascination nurtured by countless hours spent watching nature documentaries with Buster nestled contentedly at his feet. This shared interest in the natural world hinted at a foundation of curiosity and respect for wildlife that would likely shape Toby's actions in the narrative to come. One crisp autumn afternoon, their routine game of fetch near the edge of their property took an unexpected turn. Buster, usually bounding with unrestrained joy, suddenly paused, his playful energy replaced by focused attention. His ears shot forward, his nose twitched rhythmically, and a soft, inquisitive whine emanated from his chest. He abandoned the bright red ball mid-bounce, his senses captivated by a scent carried on the gentle breeze, a scent that remained imperceptible to Toby's less sensitive human nose. The remarkable olfactory abilities of dogs are a recurring motif in stories featuring their bond with humans. Ignoring Toby's calls and whistles, Buster began to follow the intriguing scent, his tail now held high and unwavering, guiding him towards a barely visible trail that disappeared into the dense foliage marking the boundary of the West Creek Reservation. Toby, caught between his ingrained caution and the deep trust he placed in Buster's instincts, hesitated for only a fleeting moment before deciding to follow his loyal companion into the Whispering Woods. This decision marked their departure from the familiar and the beginning of their unexpected adventure. The familiar sounds of their suburban neighborhood gradually faded into a muted hum as Toby and Buster ventured deeper into the West Creek Reservation. Sunlight filtered through the dense canopy of autumn leaves, casting an ever-shifting mosaic of light and shadow on the forest floor. A noticeable coolness permeated the air, carrying the rich, earthy aroma of damp soil and the subtle fragrance of decaying foliage. Their path, initially clear, soon became a winding route over moss-covered logs and through thickets of undergrowth, growing increasingly faint as they progressed. These sensory details painted a vivid picture of their transition from the manicured lawns of suburbia to the more untamed heart of the reservation, immersing the reader in their changing environment. Along their journey, they encountered fleeting glimpses of wildlife, a vibrant flash of blue as a startled bluebird launched itself into the air, and the rustling sounds of unseen creatures moving through the fallen leaves. These small interactions with nature served as subtle reminders of the wildness surrounding them and hinted at the possibility of more significant encounters to come. At one point, while carefully navigating across a small, gurgling stream, the loose, water-worn rocks beneath Toby's sneakers shifted unexpectedly, causing him to lose his footing. Before he could fully stumble and fall, Buster, with a surprising surge of strength, pressed his sturdy body against Toby's legs, providing the necessary support to regain his balance. This seemingly small act of assistance underscored Buster's inherent protective instincts towards Toby, demonstrating a loyalty that extended beyond mere companionship. The scent that had initially drawn Buster into the woods grew steadily stronger, guiding them towards a secluded clearing bathed in the warm, golden light of the late afternoon sun. In the center of this peaceful space stood an old stone well, its surface cloaked in a thick layer of green moss, its weathered wooden cover lying askew. A faint, distressed whimpering sound, barely audible above the gentle rustling of leaves, drifted from the darkness within. This discovery marked the culmination of their initial journey into the woods, hinting at the challenge and the opportunity for kindness that awaited them. Peering cautiously over the aged, moss-laden stones at the well's edge, Toby's eyes adjusted to the dim light within. He saw a small, shivering ball of fur huddled at the bottom. It was a young raccoon, its tiny leg caught in the unforgiving grip of a rusty snare. The creature's whimpers were weak, each one laced with a palpable fear that tugged at Toby's heart. This unexpected encounter immediately stirred Toby's innate sense of empathy, a quality often explored in narratives centered on the bond between a boy and his dog. Buster, upon catching sight of the trapped animal, let out a soft, low bark, a sound that conveyed concern rather than aggression. He gently nudged Toby's outstretched hand with his cold, wet nose, his intelligent eyes mirroring the worry etched on the boy's face. This reaction from Buster was significant. Instead of succumbing to a natural canine instinct to chase or threaten a smaller animal, he displayed a remarkable understanding of Toby's distress and a shared sense of concern. It suggested a bond so deep that Buster seemed to recognize and respond to Toby's emotional state, even when it conflicted with his own inherent tendencies, subtly echoing the idea of the dog as a moral compass. A sudden wave of determination washed over Toby. He knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that he had to help the trapped creature. With deliberate care, he began to assess the situation, his voice a low, soothing murmur as he spoke to the frightened raccoon, attempting to offer some semblance of reassurance. Buster remained close by Toby's side, his quiet presence a silent but powerful affirmation of support. This shared moment, a mutual understanding and commitment to helping another being in need, further solidified the already strong connection between the boy and his dog, binding them together through a shared act of kindness. Working in quiet unison, Toby and Buster embarked on the delicate task of freeing the raccoon's leg from the cruel snare. Toby's small, nimble fingers worked with surprising dexterity as he carefully manipulated the rusty metal, while Buster remained a steadfast presence nearby, occasionally offering a gentle, reassuring lick to Toby's cheek. This quiet teamwork underscored their deep reliance on each other, a partnership forged through countless shared adventures and moments of companionship. Once the snare was finally loosened, the young raccoon, after a fleeting moment of bewildered hesitation, darted out of the well and scampered into the dense undergrowth, quickly disappearing into the perceived safety of the surrounding woods. A wave of profound relief and quiet satisfaction washed over Toby as he watched the small creature's swift escape. Toby then turned his gaze towards Buster, a wide, genuine smile illuminating his face. Buster responded with an enthusiastic wag of his tail, his body language conveying a clear understanding of the success of their impromptu rescue mission. In that shared glance, a silent communication passed between them, a mutual acknowledgement of the good deed they had accomplished together, a testament to the unique, unspoken language that often exists between a boy and his dog. As the sun began its slow descent towards the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and gold, Toby and Buster turned their steps back towards their familiar Parma home. The woods now seemed to hum with a different kind of energy, a quiet sense of peaceful contentment settling amongst the trees. Their unexpected adventure had subtly transformed the familiar landscape, imbuing it with a deeper, more meaningful resonance. Back in the comforting familiarity of their backyard, as the warm lights of neighboring houses began to twinkle against the deepening twilight, Toby knelt down and wrapped his arms around Buster in a tight embrace. He whispered, his voice filled with affection, "We did a good thing, boy. Buster responded by leaning into Toby, offering a soft, comforting lick to the side of his ear, his tail thumping a gentle, steady rhythm against the soft grass. This quiet moment of shared affection perfectly encapsulated the central theme of their enduring bond. Later that evening, curled up together on the worn, comfortable sofa, with Buster resting his head trustingly on Toby's lap, they watched another nature documentary on television. This time, however, the images of wild creatures on the screen held a new significance for both boy and dog, a tangible connection forged in the heart of the Whispering Woods. The local legend of the West Creek Reservation, once just a story, now held a personal weight, a reminder of their shared adventure and the silent vow of kindness they had enacted in the heart of the Emerald Labyrinth. Their bond, initially built on shared mischief and playful antics, had been tested and deepened by an unexpected act of compassion, its strength echoing in the quiet evening, a testament to the timeless and profound friendship between a boy and his dog.